Welcome back to the Perek Project. This morning, as we were getting ready for back to a new school year, my 13-year-old daughter says to me, this year I'm going to really try to be neat. And then she paused and said, I doubt it's going to happen. And it got me thinking. We're coming up to Rosh Hashanah, and it's traditionally a time of introspection when we stop and we look at what we want to fix, what we want to do better for the coming year. And it's a time for resolutions. And someone once asked me this question that I think a lot of us have come face to face with. We come up to Rosh Hashanah and we may be making a resolution that we've made in the past and we haven't succeeded. Like, what's even the point? So in Mishnah 21, Rabbi Tarfon tells us what the point is. He says you're not required to complete the task, but you're not free to desist from doing it. What does he mean? He's echoing the sentiment that a lot of us feel. We have an overwhelming spiritual task to accomplish in this world, and we may feel like, I'm never going to achieve it. What's the point? But no, God created us as human beings. And God is not requiring us to complete the task. And unlike in the physical world, where if you don't do something, it's almost not worth it, right? In the spiritual world, it's not about achievement. It's about putting in the effort. Because when we put in the effort, that is what is required for us. And that is what is going to make us into a better person. And that's why he tells us if you studied much Torah, they give you great reward. He's not saying if you know much Torah. He's saying if you studied a lot, if you put in a lot of effort, you're rewarded for the effort, not the outcome, but for the effort that you put in. We don't have to accomplish and achieve the goals. We just have to keep on putting in the effort. For example, sometimes we try so hard to do something. Let's say I'm trying not to speak Lashon Hara, bad about someone else. And I try and I try and I try. And then I slip up. And we could be so hard on ourselves and say, I failed. But no, because we kept on trying, we succeeded. And we have to keep on trying, even if we fail. And Hashem rewards us for the effort that we put in. And he reminds us that unlike a human being who can't be relied on, because even with the best intentions, they can promise something, they can want it to do it, but they can fall through, they can become bankrupt, for example. Hashem can be relied upon to give us the reward. And the truth of the matter is that every single mitzvah that we do benefits us. But even though God promises us that he's going to reward us, as though we were doing it for God, even though each mitzvah benefits us. On this note, sometimes we see good people and we wonder why they aren't getting all the good that they deserve. So he gives us one of the many answers that there are. And he tells us that be aware that the reward for good people, for righteous people, is in the world to come. So if you're wondering why a good person is not receiving the reward that they deserve, remember that the full reward we get in the world to come, because the pleasures of this world is not enough of a reward for a mitzvah. So with this in mind, we can set ourselves our goals for the coming year and not get disheartened with whether we have or have not achieved them in the past, but just remember that our effort is everything and our effort is immensely rewarded. And this brings us to the end of chapter 2 of Pirkei Avot.